Hey everybody, DocSports.com. I'm Scott Spreitzer. He's Doug Upstone, and we are talking Super Bowl money management. We got a beauty. Super Bowl 55, man. If you're just a fan of the game, Brady and Mahomes, we got the GOAT against the guy who's going to be the potential GOAT by the time his career comes to an end. And Doug, I'm feeling old because I was just thinking the other day that if we watch Patrick Mahomes, if he plays until his 43rd or 44th year of age, like Tom Brady has, we're going to be watching this kid till 2040. That's how old it feels when you realize how young Patrick Mahomes is, but way beyond his years in maturity and in IQ. And I can't wait to get this game going. But we're going to talk some money management here. We're both going to be talking some props as we get closer to the game itself. Wanted to mention, though, before we get to all that, that you can get a free $60 account which you can use on any of our daily packages, anybody in the roster over at DocSports.com. If you're not yet a member, click on that link below the video. Get yourself set up for that free $60 account. As we speak, KC laying 3 minus juice, total 56.5. Been an interesting betting situation in that Kansas City has gotten many more tickets percentage-wise in this game than Tampa Bay. Yet the number opened 3.5 and a couple of offshore books came down to 3. Because the respected money was coming in on Tampa Bay to start this off. Now, that's been a few days ago, and now we're jumping into it a little bit more. But, Doug, what I wanted to talk about in this one is money management, because some people do get in trouble betting the wrong things they shouldn't bet, things that don't have EV.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly correct, Scott. And the assumption always is that it's just the amateur bettor or the average Joe. But we both know people over the years that are in this industry doing what we do that have not have always been wise in some of their bets, and for any number of different reasons. So with that, money management is critical. Not to get over your skis in this situation. So, Scott, why don't you start it off and give us some of your ideas as to what you think which would be best?
Well, I tell people all the time that one of the things you're going to see is sharps will lay a big price on Super Bowl props when it comes to things like safeties or overtime. For instance, betting on will there be a safety in the Super Bowl is anywhere from I've seen 6.5 to 8 to 1. That's not a true number. The no is right now minus 750 in a few books. The true number on the no should be about minus 1200. So you're going to see people jumping in, betting on yes, there will be a safety, looking at that great price that they think has EV, when in reality you're selling yourself short. So you will see sharp action coming in, laying a price like minus 1200 on the no. And I tell people all the time, listen, if you're doing this for fun, 20 bucks here and there, you want those juices flowing from the coin flip till the final whistle of the game, by all means, have fun with it. But if you're looking to bet a few more bucks and it can hurt if you lose, you got to watch out for spots like this. You got to know where the EV lies. So, the recommendation is you don't bet yes on a safety. You would instead lay the price if you were going to get involved with this prop. And again, those aren't real odds at minus 750 on the no. And when you consider, for instance, another prop that I tell people to watch out for, a lot of people like to bet yes on will there be an overtime in the Super Bowl. Again, you're not getting real odds. You're not getting any EV by betting the yes. There has been one overtime game in 54 Super Bowls. And so you just have to watch out for traps like that. And again, if you're betting just to have a little bit of fun, I mean, listen, I've been there. I've bet the coin flip, just a few bucks, because I just want to get the juices flowing. That part of it's okay. Just don't get involved with big money when you're not even close to getting the odds you should.
Yeah, and to your point, and what you're really saying, Scott, is that the best thing you can do is set limits. Okay, go into it predetermined what you can afford to lose. I mean, it's not how much you're going to win; it's how much can you lose. And so, a great example would be if you typically bet, let's just say $500 on an NFL Sunday or NFL weekend. Okay, well then that's what you should do. And for example, if you like one side or the other, but you're not, let's just say you want to go overboard, well then take 200 of that 500, bet it on the game itself or the total. That gives you $300 to play with. Okay, then you can go through, you can find the props that work for you, determine what you think is best, and you can divvy it up accordingly. That's money management, okay? Because you're not extending yourself, but you're doing what you normally do, okay? And just what you're comfortable with. We're not saying not, like Scott says, we're not saying not to have fun. And if you want to bet on something silly, that's fine. As long as it falls in that criteria, then you're all set. Now, Scott, what's another idea that you have for people for money management?
Yeah, and I wanted to mention also, Doug, playing on what you just said, I only release about 3 to 5 props as far as premium plays each and every year, which includes over at DocSports.com since I've been there now for 3 years. Just 3 to 5 props usually. And you're not going to get the coin flip from me on these props, by the way. You're going to get legit bets that I'm making for decent sized money. So I want to point that out. I know you're the same, Doug. You're not going to get silly stuff on those props. But another one that I like is to play props that can win, that can come to fruition no matter who is winning this football game. A lot of people, and we all did it when we were young, when we were kids in our early 20s, and we would jump on, oh boy, I love Team A, and tie all your props or 90% of your props to Team A winning the football game. And then you find out 5 minutes into the game, boy, you messed up. That ain't the right side. And you just put all your eggs into one basket, and you just had a real bad Sunday afternoon watching the Super Bowl. So I'll give you an example. I'm not the first one who's brought this up. I've seen it and heard it on a couple of shows already in the first week during the bye week leading up to the game. But one example of a prop that I think is pretty decent, and again, it was somebody else I saw who pointed this out, but Mahomes over under completion yards on his longest pass of the game, 39 and a half as we cut this video. And I do like the over there because he is going to take chances downfield. We know that it's part of their MO. You got a guy like Tyreek Hill, you're going to try to throw him a deep ball once in a while. And so you could see 2 or 3 deep balls. You could see a 15-yard pass that a guy like Tyreek Hill turns into a 45-yard run after pass. And that is an example. Now, I'm not saying this is the best prop on the board, but it's an example of you can be on either side. You can have Tampa Bay winning this football game by a close or large margin. You could have Kansas City winning this game close or a large margin, and that one still got a chance to cash. Whether ahead, whether behind late by a touchdown or more, you're going to see KC take that chance at least a couple of times in this game.
Yeah, and exactly to what you're saying, Scott, is that the best thing you can do is create an edge for your bets. Okay, and that's exactly what Scott's talking about. Is that when you go through, you can research this information. You can find out things about it, just like you would about the football game. So that's the important thing to do. If you want to have fun, but you also like winning money, this is what's going to help you win that money. Now, you can still be wrong. Okay, that's going to happen every week. However, if you do these types of things, you do your research, you go with the fundamentals, you see what's out there, and you get the best side that you can find. What more can you do? Because the big thing, at least for me in betting, it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And so if you win the game, for example, on your bet, and then you give it all back, okay, betting props, that's just not making any sense. So from this standpoint, give yourself the best chance. And to follow up one other point, Scott, and this is my final point. You've mentioned the coin toss, okay? Don't make bets on 50-50 wagers. It's real simple, okay? What team's going to have the first penalty? Who's going to miss the first field goal? Who knows? Okay, nobody does. So don't make those types of silly bets. Keep the money in your pocket. There's a better way to make money betting the Super Bowl. It's fine to have fun. Just understand what the outcome could be.
Yeah, and my final points are: listen, this is going to be tempting to play in game if you have outs and you're not throwing a small, limited person in your household party during these times. If it's one of those things where you might play in game. I mean, if Kansas City's down 10-0, 14-3 early, it's going to be awfully tempting to back KC. Just don't go, as Doug mentioned, over your head with these kind of bets. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble real quickly. One final thought before we wrap it up: if you like over props on individual players, over in receiving yardage for a game, over in passing yardage, things of that nature, you might want to wait until you get a little bit later in the week when it comes to Super Bowl week, because you'll see that the public is going excuse me, I'm sorry. You might want to bet that now as opposed to late because the public is going to bet the overs more than anything else when it comes to these individual props. If you like the under in some of those individual props, passing yards, receiving yards, things of that nature on individuals, bet it late because you will get a little bit better number by the time Super Bowl weekend rolls around. So, just a couple of thoughts from Doug, from myself. And again, you can check out all of Doug's work daily in all sports over at DocSports.com, including the upcoming Super Bowl, mine also. And don't forget about that $60 free account. Again, it's real easy. If you're not yet a member, you click on the link below the video, get yourself set up for a free $60 account, which you can then use on any of our daily packages, any of the guys over at DocSports.com. For Doug Upstone, I'm Scott Spreitzer. We are DocSports.com.